Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Transformers review. And as you can see, I've jumped straight back from the movie years straight back to G1. This particular toy I'm sure will be familiar to older fans and kind of recognisable to newer fans as, well, it's sort of Bumblebee, but it's not Bumblebee. This is Goldbug, who Bumblebee was turned into after his old body was badly damaged. I believe that was in the Rebirth cartoon? It was either Rebirth or Headmasters, I think, along about that sort of time anyway. He's quite a basic little figure. These were designed to be around sort of like just a fun plaything, a lot sort of like along the lines of like the mini-bots originally were, but this is even perhaps a little bit even more simplified. Before I get into the actual figure, I'll give you a look at his backing card. Now obviously this had a double clear bubble for one of the rubber sort of decoys. I do have them, but I couldn't sort of like find them offhand just to sort of put back in the packaging to show you. But I'm sure most people are familiar with the rubber decoys they sort of packaged at this time. As you can see, there's the original price, £2.25 from Tesco's. This is back in 1986, I believe, and as you can see, it's also got about the decoys in the top corner of the packaging as well. Quite nice, again, G1 artwork. Strangely enough, got a big Autobot logo on the top, but it's actually, that's where his rub sign is on the figure. So although that's sort of generally accurate, the fact his rub sign would work and show Autobot, it's not really, you know, on show all the time, so a little bit of artistic license there. Anyway, getting to the back of the card, you get the basic instructions about him and the robot points, and of course the old style tech specs with the same picture as on the front of the card, and I'll bring his bio in so you can pause that and read it. Okay, and obviously you get all the zigzagging of the sort of like strength, intelligence and speed, all those sort of things as well. But yeah, quite a nice little sort of backing card, quite small. Even smaller, I think, than the original Minibot card backs. But then again, as I say, he was quite a basic little figure. Now, of course, back in G1 days, Bumblebee and then hence Goldbug was, of course, a Volkswagen Beetle. And to be fair, this is probably a better representation of a Beetle than his first G1 incarnation, with a better sloping back, which is more accurate to the car. Quite a nice little car mode. It does, of course, have the added advantage of being pull back and go, which still works remarkably well after all these years. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Rubber tyres at this point as well, still had those. Obviously not much kibble because there's not much robot, but getting to his transformation. Now don't blink or you will miss it. You fold open these little side flaps which become his arms, if you can believe that. You then lift from the back of the car body up like so and push the motorised rear wheel section in a little bit, and then all you do is unclip the back section of the car and flip it to the back, and that is Goldbug. It's pretty similar sort of face to the old G1 Bumblebee, with a slight difference, the fact he's got more of a sort of visor type mouth rather than the Bumblebee. Well, the Bumblebee toy had a visor, but of course the Bumblebee in the TV series had a mouth, so sort of pick and choose which one you prefer. But as a robot, that's pretty bad really. I mean, it's pretty poor. No articulation whatsoever. I suppose you could say you could lean back slightly, and that's about it. So yeah, not exactly Hasbro's finest hour of toy design, but a fun little toy, I suppose, in their own right. If you was going to pick these up second hand these days as a collector, you don't want to be paying a lot of money for these. The only obvious exception is if you was getting mint on your card, you might pay a little bit more, but you aren't getting a lot for your money. Size wise, if I bring in, I think something you can bring in, if I bring in the Dark of the Moon Laserbeak, you can see he's quite a small figure as well. Laserbeak pretty much dwarfs him, so yeah, not a big figure in any way, shape or form, but I suppose he's kind of a cute little thing. And there is obviously the whole set of throttlebots, as they were classed, that you can collect. But yeah, not a lot more I can really say about that. So it's a pretty short review. Hope you've enjoyed it and give you a glimpse of how bad some things in G1 could be. But then again, you know, it's fun. You can at least pull them back and let them go tearing off across the floor. A little bit of a shame they didn't ever come with weapons, because at least, say like with Run Amok and Run About, they did at least have a little weapon you could clip on their shoulder, so that would have been kind of nice if they had done that with the throttlebots. But again, you know, that's G1 all over for you. We was happy with what we got in those days. I sound really old there, don't I? Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review, and I shall see you again for another Transformers review. Thanks for watching.